Hello and welcome to Aki Football, the place where I'll be discussing all things football related. In this episode, I'll be discussing the 5 things which I believe Man United need to do to compete for the league title again. So Manchester United last won the league title in the 2012-2013 season. From David Moyes' tragic 10 months in charge, Van Gaal's dull style of play despite his sideline antics, and Mourinho's 2.5 seasons with mixed success, it's fair to say it's been a painful 7 years. The initial start to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial career was very promising, but things quickly reverted back to bad habits with the football and results suffering again and United hovering just outside the top 4. So without any further delay, here are the 5 things which I believe needs to happen for Man United to compete for the Premier League title again. Number 1. Secure Champions League football. It is vital Man United do not go another year without being in the Champions League. Yes, you can probably try and sign players by just throwing crazy money at them, but this strategy of yesteryear no longer seems to be the case at Man United, especially since being burnt with the Sanchez transfer, regardless of his piano playing abilities. Ole has since repeatedly signalled the idea of signing players with the right character and mentality to play for Man United and not just those who want money. I won't be surprised if Ole actually came up with the quote on the screen right now. But joking aside, not only does it become harder to attract players if there is no Champions League football, but the revenue also gets hit from not partaking in this competition. Man United being one of the most recognisable teams in the world means the sponsorship money being generated have been in the hundreds of millions. If Man United continue to not challenge for League and Champions League titles, the brand will start to become less appealing to sponsors and the share price is likely to suffer. Number 2. Buy a right winger. It's astonishing that a club of Man United's stature has not improved its problematic position for several years. Over the years, the following players have been deployed in this position: Mata, Lingard, Mkhitaryan, Pereira, James. Definitely not the greatest list of wingers for fullbacks to be worried about. The likes of Sanchez, Rashford and Martial have also occasionally been deployed here, again, but proven to be ineffective since all 3 prefer to play as a striker or cutting in from the left. Greenwood has shown glimpses but is still very young and developing. The obvious candidate for this position appears to be Jadon Sancho, who has developed into one of the finest attackers in the world at Borussia Dortmund. According to recent reports, United are apparently unwilling to go to more than 50 million for Sancho, which seems almost impossible to believe, with Dortmund likely to ask for double that amount. Due to the current climate, the market seems to be in a very weird place and the player valuations of previous seasons now appear to be inflated. Clubs will have less money to spend due to lack of incoming revenue, and should this continue to next season, clubs like Dortmund might have to sell to balance the books. If we look at players such as Werner and Sane, who have recently moved for less than 55 million, maybe United are right to declare they won't spend more than 50 million. However, I assume this 50 million, which seems to have stemmed slightly out of the blue, is Man United's attempt to lower the asking price to a more reasonable amount. Number 3. Keeping Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba divides many Man United fans' opinions. Some see him as toxic and disruptive and someone who performs inconsistently. They feel he comes with a lot of baggage and is a bad influence to the rest of the squad, especially the younger players. This opinion is generally fueled by the pundits such as Graeme Souness, who appears to always find a way to blame Paul Pogba, even when he doesn't play. Pogba's response to Souness? By saying he doesn't even know who Graeme Souness was. In addition to this, his outspoken agent, Raiola, just pours fuel to the fire, which doesn't help either, attacking Man United on numerous occasions. Other fans like myself see him as one of our best players who we need to keep and build our squad around. The expectations on Paul Pogba to me always appear to be extremely demanding. He's expected to do everything, to score, to assist, to never lose possession, alongside all the defensive duties of a world-class CDM like Kante. The early signs since Bruno Fernandes' arrival have been very positive. Keeping Paul Pogba and watching his partnership develop even further will be crucial to next season's title challenge. Number 4. Continue to get rid of Deadwood. One thing any Man United fan can't really complain about is Ole's attempts to get rid of the Deadwood in the squad to trim down the wage bill, but to also release funds for future player improvements. Since Ole has been in charge, the likes of Fellaini, Valencia, Young, Herrera, Darmian and Lukaku have all been shipped out, with the likes of Sanchez, Smalling and Rojo being sent out on loan with the intention to be permanently sold. The following players which I am going to list I believe should also be moved on. Pereira. He just doesn't appear to be anywhere near the standard we need. Just look at the difference between him and Bruno and it's actually insane. Jesse Lingard. I actually don't think Jesse Lingard is that bad, but you can't ignore the fact it's been ages since he registered a goal or an assist, and if you're going to play as the cam for a team, then you simply need to be more efficient and productive from a goals and assists perspective. And we can't just keep him because of his dancing either. Mata. I still don't fully understand why we gave him a 3-year contract when all signs were showing that he had gotten slower, weaker and more inconsistent than ever before. The only logical reason I can think of is that he's a good influence in the dressing room and to keep the likes of De Gea happy, as well as his off-the-field reputation for being a wonderful human being. I still don't think it warranted a 3-year contract though. Take a moment to appreciate this table showing Bruno versus the 3 players I have just listed. It's always worth remembering, as soon as we signed Bruno Fernandes, all 3 had been getting decent game time and were then dropped to the bench or not in the squad altogether. And finally, Sir Phil Jones. Yes, Phil Jones provides us with amazing viral guaranteed memes, but apart from that, what does he really contribute? The player dubbed with the potential to be Man United's best ever player by Sir Alex Ferguson is another one who caused us to raise our eyebrows when it was announced he had been given a new contract. I'd be very surprised if he wasn't shipped out in the new season, since we have 4 other centre backs ahead of him. Getting rid of these players should give more opportunities for our talented youngsters such as Mason Greenwood, Chong and Garner, before they end up leaving like Angel Gomez. Number 5. Sign a world-class centre back or defensive midfielder. Harry Maguire and Aaron Wan-Bissaka's arrivals this year has improved Man United's defence, and despite De Gea making some high-profile errors, United still boasts the 3rd best defence in the league. Of the current crop of defenders in the squad to partner Maguire, I like Eric Bailly, but his injury record has been atrocious since his arrival, so I fear he will never be first choice. Lindelof is generally good, but that's about it. His lack of ability in the air has been exposed a few times, so again I'm not sure if he's the answer long term either. Axel Tuanzebe has made good progress, but it might be another year before we see his true ability and potential. The issue with signing his replacement is, well, there just isn't that many good centre-backs around at the moment. The likes of Koulibaly have long been linked with a move to United, but being 29 and with a hefty transfer tag, I assume we will stick with the current defenders we have. Nathan Ake is another which gets mentioned, and Solskjaer was seen joking with him after the recent game against Bournemouth, but I'm not sure how much of an upgrade he is to our current options. Another area which I believe we need to strengthen is at CDM. Matic has recently signed a new contract and has generally been a solid player for us since his arrival from Chelsea in 2017. However, to allow Pogba and Bruno Fernandes to truly blossom, I believe we need an upgrade. McTominay can potentially fulfill this role in the future, but in games he still shies away from the ball unless he has loads of time and space. His positioning and awareness also needs to improve. Fred is another who has done well this season, but I think a midfield 3 of Fred, Pogba and Bruno is asking for trouble, since Fred can be rash at times and not the most disciplined defensively. A player in the ilk of Thomas Partey could well be the missing puzzle for our midfield. He seems to fit the profile of the type of player United should go for, and reports suggest he has a release clause of around 45 million, which seems to be a good price. Not only is he efficient from a defensive perspective, but according to WhoScored.com, he also has one of the best dribble success percentages in the world with 87% successful, proving that he is comfortable on the ball and not easily dispossessed. So these were the 5 things that I believe Man United need to do to challenge for next year's title. Do you agree with them or do you disagree? What do you think we need to do to compete again? Let me know your thoughts by commenting below. And if you liked and enjoyed watching this video, feel free to subscribe for more in the future. Thanks again for watching Aki Football, and I hope to see you on my channel again soon.